Welcome to Daily Armor. Today I'm in Psalms 122 looking at verse number 1. I noticed this because I had been in Psalms 121 looking at the whole chapter. And then I realized yesterday whenever my husband got a phone call, I don't know who it was, but it was obvious what they were asking. He said, "Oh yes, we'll be having service tomorrow night." And so they were asking about having service today at our church, and our power's back on, and everything is back in order. And so we are having service tonight. And as I was thinking about that, I was excited that he could say that. I was excited to get back to church. I only missed Sunday, but that was, that was a big deal. And to think that our pastor has been leading us to make it more about prayer, and I love to hear him preach. I don't get enough of it. I love to hear him preach. God's always has something that I need. And if it's not something that I had been looking at or studying or had a question about, it's something coming up in the days or weeks to come. And so I'm excited, always excited to hear him preach. But as he said, he was going to start making his sermons a little shorter, more of a Bible study, trying to do a devotion or a sermonette. And for him, that is very difficult. He is putting the focus more on actually praying, getting to the altar, not leaving, not putting it on the end of the service for, a 10-minute prayer at the altar, but making it more of the focus. And as he was leading us to do that, then the Lord was working on my end about different things that I have been praying about, and taking my time, and not trying to rush through my prayer list, because sometimes the list is long and daunting and I get overwhelmed. And he was letting me know that yes, this other stuff is important, but there's no more important part of my day than the time that I spend with the Lord, the time that I spend in prayer. And as I was looking at, everybody that I'm praying for and all these situations that I'm praying about, and then as he was leading me yesterday to get more personal, more specific, more one-on-one with my personal needs, with things that I'm struggling with thinking that, constantly thinking that I have to do it myself, as my granddaughter, likes to tell me, "TT, no, I do it myself." And I don't want to be guilty of saying, "Lord, no, I got this, I'll do it myself." No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be guilty of that. And as he's showing me constantly, hey, you're kind of getting a little independent. You're kind of like, getting out there trying to run out on your own, trying to show me what you can do. And he's like, "I don't want you to show me what you can do. He wants me to see what he can do." And I don't have to feel guilty about that. I don't have to try to please him, to try to do things to get his attention. I don't have to do those things. I already have his love, already have his attention. I just need to direct my prayers to him and ask him to help me throughout the day. And as I'm looking at my prayer sheet, and I have scripture, I have so many things that I pray about. I'm excited because tonight, this will be the first night I've done this, but tonight I'm excited. I'm taking my prayer packet to church, and knowing that I'm not distracted I know that there's a grandchild on the way. I know that there's, things that I've got to do. I know there's things pressing at church that I need to get to. I know there's, still much cleanup out here in the back. I'm constantly being pulled in several directions, but there's something about once I get to church, and then once that I'm have that time, being given that time at the altar, and I'm not given that time with any restrictions. If somebody needs to leave, they're welcome to leave when they're done. But I'm looking forward to going and lifting up my request to the Lord for others, for my church, for other churches, for my home church, for the church Todd used to pastor, all of these places and people and family that I have, scattered all over the place. My heart is heavy for each and every one of them, and I'm going to spend time with the Lord at the altar, removing so many distractions. It reminds me of my home church. We have a prayer chapel, which they can't leave it open like they used to could. People have been disrespecting the house of the Lord like they never used to would have done. They're disrespecting the prayer chapel. It's called the Garden of Gethsemane. And it was where my husband proposed to me there, but it's where we would go and pray about things. And then, of course, myself, before I was saved, my prayers weren't going anywhere, but I was trying to get to where I thought the Lord was. And then then after I got saved, after several years, I got saved. And then when I went to the prayer chapel, that was something I would do. I believe I did it on Tuesday mornings. And I would leave my phone in the car. And it was an hour. Usually about an hour, hour and a half that I would stay in that prayer chapel, and I was unreachable, and I wanted it that way. And that was just quality time. And I'm telling you, it was so therapeutic to talk to the Lord about things. It was so helpful, and to sort it all out when I was overwhelmed, that I would go to Him. And as we look at Psalms 122, verse number 1, I like the little subtitle. It's the Song of Degrees of David. David's wrote this, and it says, "Joy in the house of the Lord." That's what the little subtitle says in my Bible. Joy in the house of the Lord. Verse number 1 is where I am today. "I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord." I was glad when I heard my husband tell whoever it was that called, "Yes, we get to go back to the house of the Lord. Yes, come, and we're going to have prayer, and we're going to have Bible study. Come to the house of the Lord." I was excited. I was ready right then yesterday. And I'm so excited that I'm going to take my prayer packet with me. I'm going to, I know that the Lord will have a message, and I know my pastor, has to get it down to just a sermonette or a devotion, whatever you want to call it. Just 20 minutes for him. That's a huge big deal. He's usually a 45-minute or more preacher. And so for him to try to get it down to about 20 minutes is very difficult. The Lord just overwhelms him with so much, and he wants to share all of it, but he's trying to, hone in on just that maybe one major point tonight. And then we get to go to the altar, that invitation to come pray, that invitation that God always has for us to come pray, but it's even more special when we get to go to the house of the Lord, and the Lord wants us to be there. The Lord is telling us to be there. It's in His Word, and I'm excited, and I can't wait. Let us go into the house of the Lord. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.